for having me. This was fun to chat about all these nutty things. It's a rabbit hole, so it's a very dangerous rabbit hole for any producer to get into the analog synth game, but it's fun. I'm sitting right here in my studio. I got an OB6 and I got a sequential Prophet 6 in front of me. And I was like, oh, there's a step up, for the analog sound. There's a body, there's a substance to the sound that sounds amazing. That was the rabbit hole I needed. And then I got on buying, I bought a Matrix 6, kind of a rack unit, which is incredible for pads and stuff and really synthwavy stuff. And then I got DX7 here. It hasn't arrived yet, but I just bought a new synth that is an analog synth, but it's a new maker from England, and it's called Udo Super 6, and it's the first binaural synth, which is crazy. It's basically chorus but on crack, so it's like instead of stereo, it's all around you, and it's incredible for pads and anything you want to kind of give a really big spacious feel. It's amazing for that. So I'm stoked to try that out. I had to relearn a new workflow because it's just not the same as with soft synths, because you can copy and paste in settings and you can tweak stuff and save it. And here it's more like if you change a knob and you don't have that preset saved, you've messed it up. So you kind of gotta be willing to let some stuff go. And I'm a perfectionist, so I like to sit with it forever. And it's a double-edged sword, but I've had to kind of relearn and I sort of reapproach how my workflow is with analog synths. And I think it works really well in the demo phase of like using soft synths and plugins, where you can change the key and you can change the tempo super easy. But when you commit, then you go and you use the real thing, and it's sonically just a much richer sound you get. I'm really just trying to start a career on the side so that if this music thing fails, I can fall back on being a pizza delivery guy. Fingers crossed. Whose idea was that? I can't remember if that was Tyler's idea or our management, and they were like, wouldn't it be fun to deliver some pizzas? And I'm the only one. Tyler is in Atlanta, he's based there, and I was in LA. So we're like, let's see if we can do a little contest and then have people in the area vote or put in their details, and we'll see if anyone does it. And we weren't sure, so did that, and a bunch of people replied, and I went and delivered some pizzas. Yeah, everyone loves pizza, and especially this last year, everyone I feel like it's been making pizzas and eating pizzas and just trying to kind of give themselves some comfort. And I've been wanting to do, in the name of vaporwave, do a track called Cold Pizza since we put out the Kids album. I was sort of banging around with ideas for that. And I was like, I want to do a track called Cold Pizza, because I was eating frozen pizza when I was making Kids, and then the next morning I was eating a leftover slice, and I was like, damn, cold pizza is money. And I was like, we should do a track called Cold Pizza. And there was no more thought into it than that. It was the most vapid thing, which makes it extra vaporwavy. It was no deep statement. It was just fun. And so it was just a silly thing. It was actually our manager who was like, why don't we do it on National Pizza Day? I was like, yes, for sure. And then we kind of made a bunch of like accessories and for people to buy, and kind of really made it a thing, and it was super fun. And to see people's response was extra fun. So we want, you're never sure what people are going to say and how they're going to respond, and if they're going to be like, well, this is weird, or if they love it. And it's always fun when they pick up what you're putting down. I haven't got a specific thing that I remember that was brought back that stuck out to me. And also a lot of it, if it's like fast food, I think it's not something I was particularly familiar with, because I grew up in Scandinavia, in Denmark. So a lot of this, like, I don't have reference points for, because it's specifically an American thing, whether it's a TV show or a fast food item or whatever. It might not have made it to Europe. Well, we had fast food, but we don't have Taco Bell or El Pollo Loco. It's like there's different points of reference. So things that might have been huge in the 80s here maybe never made it away. I guess the one thing that comes to mind is TV shows. You have now Karate Kid with what's it called, the YouTube one, and now it's on Netflix, right? And they're talking about remaking the Goonies, and there's a bunch of that. And then you have Stranger Things is obviously a riff on all that, so which is fun. I love that, and I love that they're riffing on these things and adding to it and sort of updating things that need updating. It's 100% about the font, and I don't know what. There's no reason I call it. I was trying to make it sound very internety, I guess. I was inspired by like those kind of late nights where you're online and you're just kind of like surfing the web, and especially when you were younger and you were just like cruising on blogs, and this is before YouTube existed too. It was like chat rooms and AOL, trying to connect with other human beings, but there's a sense of solitude in there as well. And it was sort of the dawn of the internet, where it was all new and it was kind of mysterious and magical and exciting, and no one really knew what the internet could do. And so I don't know why, but something about the title, the font name of Helvetica spoke to me, and I just felt like, yeah, this track should be called Helvetica. There's not much to it. It was I had the title. I had the little mallet plucks, and then I had the title, and I spent about 2 weeks trying to figure out what else it should be. I was trying all kinds of things, and then finally I settled on those. When I did the chorus, like bum 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 bum, that was when I was like, this is the vibe. This feels vaporwavy and sort of sad and moody and dreamy enough. And then it was a very late in the game. I actually ended up just bouncing that whole file and just sampling in that and then playing around with the pitch shift, so making it really feel kind of jerky. And dynamic can be tempo as well, creates a sense of dynamic. And since it's not a classical traditional pop song structure, it's more of a vibe that kind of just coasts along. It helped with the weird sort of pitching and the sample kind of, it gave it that regurgitated sort of vaporwave, like a copy of a copy of a copy kind of feel. So that was my approach with that. It was kind of to make it feel like someone dug it up from like a wave yard, if you will. We have opinions, but we find graphic artists, and sort of we pick the ones we want to work with on, whether it's a poster or album cover art, or if it's a t-shirt design or whatever it might be, merch or whatever. But and then we might have ideas and kind of places to start, but then we sort of usually let the graphic designer like go do their thing, and then they might send us an early version, and we're like, oh, like that, could we add more of this or tweak that? And the guy we've been using for both Kids and Monsters has been Aaron Campbell. His name is I think it's ecstatic.psd on Instagram, and he's incredible. He's so good at we'll send him sort of rough ideas of like what the vibe we want, and he'll just send us a bunch of things, and it's like spot on. And then he sends us like black and white sketches, and then once the colors come on there, and he really goes in with the shadows and the shading and the lighting, it's so moody, and he just nails it. But yeah, it's that's one of the really fun parts, is finding collaborating with different visual artists, to whether it's a lyric video or graphic design for a poster or a t-shirt or whatever, a piece of merch. It's really fun to be able to kind of fill that space, and pairing that with the sound. Yeah, we're currently working on the next album, which will be the third part of the kind of kids trilogy, is what we're calling it. It's fun. It's been, from a creative perspective, it's been really nice for me, for my process, to be able to be at home and not have to finish albums and tour and all that stuff, but also really be able to focus on the kind of creative side, dive deep on that, and for me and Tyler to be able to connect, even though we're in different states. But you can do a lot through Skype and Zoom calls and stuff, and sending files to each other. And so it's been really nice from that point of view, to kind of really hash out how we want this thing to go, and try to just build a bunch of ideas and have time and make it the best we can make it.